What if I tell you that Tanjiro just straight up cancelled this dude's live subscription instead of helping him? Don't look at me funny, he is the one who gave him the serial killer's personal stash and left him alone with the latest victim of the abduction. Hello comrade, my name is Mahis. Come, get yourself a beverage and sit down with me. We got incident management to discuss. Let me clarify why this is a very bad look. Contrary to what we see, demons don't exist in the Demon Slayer world as the majority of the population doesn't believe in them. To that end, when something bad occurs, people will assume that there is another human involved, so here's the question. What will happen to somebody who is already a part of this kill streak when they're found possessing items that belong to every previously disappeared woman as well as holding a newly kidnapped girl? The answer is nothing good, and there isn't much Kazumi can do since it's RMC who handled this situation about as bad as Hiruzen did with Danzo. I know that he's not the prime suspect and was only beaten up for not preventing his fiance's disappearance, yet what are his options? This chick was out the entire time and the only thing she does remember, if anything, are somebody's hands grabbing her. She's not going to help his defense whatsoever, meaning that if they're found together, it's GG. Even if he says that a traveling swordsman came in and killed the perpetrator while I was carrying the girl, well, where's the corpse or any other proof? Maybe the abductor wasn't killed, but taken somewhere by the good savior, though where would that be? Police is very much a thing at this time, so it's reasonable to assume that if someone catched a creep with their hands in the booby jar, they'd bring them over, yet it didn't happen. Oh, and don't forget that the swords have been outlawed for a while, so if Kazumi mentions that, he'd be questioned further and maybe even searched, which will seal his fate. His only option is to ditch the girl, leave the trinkets with her, and get the fuck out, praying nobody saw him anywhere close to her or the Slayer. Luckily for the poor guy, they didn't have sophisticated forensics yet, which is why he shouldn't worry about his traces being used against him. And in case you don't want to worry about that either, in light of the recent national public data breach that leaked 2.9 billion records with highly sensitive personal data, Aura, the sponsor of today's video, is coming in clutch. It monitors your personal data, like the one you enter when registering somewhere, across billions of data points like the dark web or the public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case something goes south. Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, like a VPN for secure browsing, data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, a password manager, and more. I, for example, have to juggle the channels and my personal accounts all the time, which means I have to keep track of a lot of information. Scammers can steal this information and expose me to a bunch of threats, but Aura takes these concerns off my plate, allowing me to focus on the fun side of what I do. If that's something you want to employ as well, go to their site aura.com/mahistv or click the link in the description to try it for 2 weeks for free, which will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. Where did Tanjiro make a mistake, or what he could have done to ensure nobody will be prosecuted? Don't implicate other people. That's the thing with all these secret societies, be it Demon Slayer Core or Jujutsu sorcerers. Sure, you can make an excuse that the world does know about them, but you often forget that people inside will be trying very hard to find rational explanations for certain events, which, when dealing with mass murders, will certainly affect uninvolved people. Take the cafe scene from Jujutsu Kaisen. Guess who's the prime suspect? The dude who ran away in a panic seconds before the shop went up in smoke. With how many cameras are around, he would be tracked, questioned, and most likely charged, because who else? Definitely not the evasive ghetto. The prosecution will likely say, you were unhappy with your work, left a few gas stoves on, and boom, everyone is dead. It's not even about the motive, as it could have been an accident, but it's the fact that he escaped unprompted right before a dozen people got a Muzan treatment that will make everyone think he is responsible, on top of a very understandable desire to punish somebody for this tragedy. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Japan has one of, if not the world's highest conviction rates, sitting pretty at 99%. Which means that if you have been officially accused of something illegal, you have a 99% chance of facing the consequences. It might sound really good until you realize that it stems from not wanting to look bad because we got the wrong person, forcing a confession through long detentions, and a couple other things. Not saying that it's the worst thing, because it really does discourage crimes in the grand scheme of things, yet in some unprecedented cases like ours with so much evidence against Kazumi, he will fall victim to this system. I think there is even a movie dedicated to this theme called I Just Didn't Do It, where a man is accused and convicted of groping a woman on the train even though he really didn't do it. It's imperative for slayers to avoid these scenarios in order to both stay incognito and not ruin other people's lives. Tanjiro had no business letting this guy tag along because he's a liability first and foremost, and due to him becoming a scapegoat when the dust settles. Come over, take his information and send him home. If he insists, tell him that the demons don't leave traces behind, and as a result the blame might fall on you, so turn around and make sure people know that you've been anywhere but here. That's called an alibi, and this, along with other basic investigator/MIB tactics, is something that should be taught to all slayers if the author wants to satisfy the Demon Slayer Corps is a secretive organization trope. It's not even that difficult, given that pupils usually spend an extended period of time with a mentor doing a lot of repetitive physical activities, in between which a simple lecture about how to better help people you're inevitably going to interact with will fit right in. I understand that their little band is called Demon Slayers, not Human Advocates, but then don't give me these supposedly kind and caring people who want to put emphasis on saving victims of demonic shenanigans. Kaguya knows better than most about how bad things can get courtesy of Gyomei's backstory, as it's basically what must have happened to Kazumi after Tanjiro's departure. He didn't have a motive, quite the opposite, he was caring for these kids, yet the lack of the demon's corpse and overwhelming evidence such as children's wounds aligning with his monk class make it impossible to suspect anyone else. Similarly to that, I'm surprised that Sanemi didn't face the same hardships after his mother was stern. No way they didn't attract attention with the sounds of combat and Genya yelling on top of his lungs. Just like the Stone Hashira, he should have been prosecuted, as he has a weapon that matches with the wounds on his siblings. If he had to live on the run in addition to killing demons until the Corps found him, it would have explained why he doesn't recognize any authority other than the Oyakatsu-sama and why he behaves like a total dick in general. Speaking of which, a bit of a counterish point to both my argument and the established lore. Why is nobody, except for some unlucky people in Yoshiwara, ever shown to stumble upon or at least peep through a window on an ongoing demon fight? Okay, we only had so many of them in the cities, but come on, the sound pollution was nowhere near as bad as it is now, so you would absolutely hear someone yelling and fighting using long metal objects in the middle of the night. Not across town, but within 4 or 5 houses? Easily. Which would imply that there will be a larger population of those who have seen demons firsthand, further pressing extra doubt that nobody believes in demons. Although, they wouldn't really speak out, fearing getting involved, which, in combination with the Slayers signing a death sentence for a lot of witnesses of demonic activities, will keep the public knowledge at a minimum. I think we got lucky that when Tanjiro decided to reveal the existence of demons to the world, an off-duty professional agent was nearby and saved the day with a neuralizer she so prudently had on her person. Wait, I just realized that our boy in the very same episode caused the death of at least 3 more people, the Spiky Demon and Muzan's pretend family. If the former is pretty obvious, the woman and her daughter often get overlooked because we never see them again. Guess why? This absolute dingus wasn't taught the basic don't rush balls blazing into a fight without evaluating the situation, which resulted in a few things being blown. Demon Daddy's cover, as well as couple of heads containing compromising information. The saddest part is that this once again was not a unique fumble, as his superior, who actually had proper training, still made the same mistake, only on a much larger scale. Tengen with his bizarre adventures. We all know that he was rushing because his wives were in trouble, and that's precisely why police officers, for example, are discouraged from investigating members of their own family. There is bias, conflict of interest, as well as emotional involvement that can and often will compromise the process. Our ex-shinobi cut every corner possible to save people he loved, which led to an unfavorable fight and a destruction of a whole district. Instead, he should have identified the demon first, then outlined the future arena and had the boys ready to evacuate the civilians when the battle begins. There is no real benefit for jumping the gun like that, because how many people does Ducky kill a night? 1? It's totally worth biding your time for a day to fully prepare over losing untold dozens to a haphazard demon extermination operation. Not to mention requesting reinforcements like Obanai, who showed up an hour or two after the fight started. Also, what were they doing, both Tengen and his wives, instead of asking around for some weird-ass occurrences? Warabi Himeo-ran had an entire wiki page at this point when it comes to rumors, so how did she not become a suspect instantly is beyond me. Aren't they supposed to be elite espionage professionals? No shit the Corps is running around setting people up for death for no reason when its most skilled higher ranks with formal education are no better than Inosuke, who literally just came out of the woods. Look at our beloved food enjoyer. He gave absolutely zero fucks about keeping a low profile or sharing classified information. Hey, you guys heard of a demon? I'm looking for it to get some justicing done, so tell me all you know, pretty please! In this singular mission, Rengoku encountered 13 people who got a first-hand experience with a demon, and though his crisis management was on point, I really want to know how they would have explained the injuries this guy sustained or what cover-up story they would have concocted. After all, that's the point I'm trying to make. What comes after the demon is slayed? If nothing is done, at best you have a slight increase in demon awareness, and at worst, you get people killed for something they didn't do. The Demon Slayer Corps must have a protocol that breaks down the most possible scenarios and gives directions on how to approach them with minimal involvement of random civilians. It's not as complicated as it might sound, since for the majority of the cases it would be come to a few dead or dying people, kill the demon, administer first aid if possible, and call Kakushi. However, this is the first time I said my favorite word in this video, so for good measure. However, even though cases of slayers going full Sherlock are rare, they must be approached with the utmost caution, as these are the situations that can lead to the least desirable outcomes, exposing more people to danger, making the demon threat known to a larger populace, and leading to humans killing humans. It was I, Mahias, suggesting another story improvement into the microphone. Have a great whatever time of the day you have. Until next time, cheers. They must be approached with the utmost caution, as these are the... With the utmost caution, as these are... Да что такое?